G'day folks, Ben from Snows today, running you through these refreshed Mudgee sleeping bags from Coleman. These have long been a really homely and warm sleeping bag for general camping, really generous with their ratings and just have a nice soft feel about it. But as I mentioned, the biggest benefit is that they're really affordable as well for the quality and the warmth you get out of them. So largely the same, just a bit of a refresh. There's still 3 in the range, a 5, a 0 and a -3. Big changes is that they all come in 1 meter width now. So they're all this wide, slightly longer as you get up in the temperature ratings. But the other benefit is that they now come in at this new bag, which isn't so tight. To give you an idea, this is what the bags used to look like they came in, and getting it back in that bag was a near impossibility. They're now oversized with these compression sacks over the top, so compression straps down the side. So got a bit of extra space in the bag. I did try and pack these up myself after rolling it up. I still believe stuffing it in the bag is the easiest way to pack it away, and that was definitely the case with this one here. Stuffing it in is easier. They do have a roll control thing that we'll get into shortly. If you do that, you've got to roll it up really tightly. You can do it, but I still think stuffing it in is easy. But the biggest benefit is that finally, we've got an oversized stuff sack for these bags here. Now there's 3 in the range, as I mentioned, the C5 here, 208 centimeters in length, so recommended for a user up to about 203 centimeters, and 100 centimeters in width, weighs around about 2.65 kilos. Then you go up to the C0, so a little bit more fill inside this one. Once again, 208 centimeters in length, 100 in width for users up to about 203 centimeters. And then the warmest one is the -3 here. This goes up to 2.78 kilos in weight, 215 centimeters in length, so suitable for users up to about 210 centimeters, 100 centimeters in width, and it's got all the extra fill inside of it to make it a little bit warmer. That's a brief rundown on the series. These are really affordable sleeping bags for general camp. You've got a small hood on the side. We're going to run into all the details, all the zipper details, packing it away and everything. Stick around and we'll get into those details. Before we dive in, we've got loads more content like this on our channel, so make sure you like and subscribe below. Now let's jump into the product. So we've got the -3 in front of me here. Now the features across all 3 different temperature ratings are the same. The only difference being this is a little bit longer and this one has the most fill. These are the bags packed up. This is from the factory, so they don't ever pack up quite this small, but as we said before, extra space in the bag here. 2.65 through to 2.78 kilos, slightly larger diameter as you get up to the -3, which is this guy here. It's a bit more fabric to pack inside. These are rolled inside here. As I mentioned, I'll say it again, I'll say it over and over again. It's just easier to stuff it back in the bag, but we'll show you on the roll control or the pack away feature that Coleman have incorporated into these bags shortly. Now it's a brushed polyester exterior and lining on this guy. So it is a synthetic, but it has a nice feel. It doesn't have a plasticky feel or a plasticky look about it. It's got a nice soft feel, almost like a cotton feel to it. The same on the inside here, so it's nice to sleep against. And it's got Coleman's Coletherm hollow fiber fill inside, so it feels really thick, feels warm. Like you can feel the fill in here. It's puffed up. This is straight out of the bag. It's quite new as of this morning. Already feels thick in there. So it's a hollow fiber synthetic fill, which means it's a fiber, but it's also got a hole through the middle of it, so it's kind of traps more air to make it a little bit warmer. Features of the bag on the outside, you can see you've got a small hood. Doesn't have a draw cord on this hood there. This is really just somewhere to rest your head. You have this cuff that sits around your neck here, and you can see you've got these stitching points here which hold all the seam, the fill inside in place. That is sewn through, so you've got this point pinching on this side here. Potentially a cold spot, but there's so much fill in here that's probably not going to make a difference. It kind of bunches up against each other anyway, so it's still going to be a really warm bag. And that's the same throughout the whole bag. You just got a different colorway at the base here, still the same brushed polyester down to the base. Now the zipper is a full zipper, so given we're at the foot end, we'll show you here, you don't have 2 zippers, you've only got 1, but you've got 2 zipper pulls. So if you do want to open up the foot end, you can do so with this zip here. It locks at the end here, so it's not quite as easy to get started, but once you undo that lock, you can open this up for a bit of ventilation at the foot end. But this is the same zipper that runs right up to the top. So you can use this as a blanket as well. So if I zip that up and we follow this zipper, same zipper around the corner here, runs right up the side to the top here where you've got their little ZipPlow feature here. Now this is designed to stop fabric from getting caught up in the zipper as you run it back and forward. It's got a little plow, I suppose, on the end there that just keeps the zipper apart and stops this fabric from getting caught. So you can unzip this right down the side, we go right down here, right around the base, and you can open that right up and use it as a blanket if you like. You can also zip two together. To do that, you open this up flat. We've got another video on how to do this. We demonstrate it. We'll put the link in for you to follow. But you put a second bag on top of here and you zip right around the edge, which means you've got one hood on the bottom, one hood on the top. So you can do it, not ideal, but you certainly can turn it into a double if you like, or open it up and use it as a big blanket. I'm gonna crawl in the bag to show you how comfortably I fit inside. See, I'm doing this up now and this fabric isn't getting caught in this zipper at all here. Slides nice and easy all the way up. No other features to show. There's no little pockets inside or anything. It's a nice stripped down, simple bag. It's just focused on it being a nice warm bag that is really affordable as well. I'll crawl inside. I'm 185 centimeters. Now, bearing in mind that this bag is 215 long. The 0 and the 5 are 208 long. So you've got 5 centimeters of difference there, or 7 centimeters of difference. But not much in it, but you've got so much space down here. There's a meter of width here, so heaps and heaps of foot room. If I lay down in this now, I can bring, this comes right up to my neck here. My head rests on the hood at the top here. I've got loads and loads of space. Like I've got heaps of room in here. So I can wear extra clothes, heaps of room. I've got lots and lots of wiggle room. So if you like to wiggle around when you sleep, you've got heaps of room in here. Nice soft feel, just like you would with your quilt at home. My feet don't feel constrained at the bottom there, so certainly got plenty of room. If you were, they recommend up to 210 centimeters in height. I reckon you'd be pushing the limit at 210. If you like to have a lot of wiggle room and you are that tall, maybe look at an even longer bag. But I think around about this 185, 190 centimeters makes for a really comfortable sleep inside this bag here, and probably similar for the 0 and the 5 degree bag as well. I'm going to show you the roll control and pack up features of the bag as well. Show you how they recommend it can be rolled away. And they are these little red elements along here. So got this little tab here, another one at the base here, and then these straps at the bottom here. Now how they work is when you go to, if you want to roll it up, fold it in half like this. This little tab loops inside the loop on the other side here. So a little bit of mucking around. Put that in there and that just holds it in place as you roll it up, because you're going to roll from the hood end towards the foot end. Do the same thing down here. Tuck this in here. And then just leave these loose and we're going to roll towards these at the end. Roll so that this bit is on the outside. So I'm going to roll up this way so this double, sorry, I need to flip it around again, all the way around. This double is on the outside there. Come up to the head end here and start to roll. Now, in order to get this back in the bag, you're going to need to roll it really tightly. I'm going to get a really tight roll on top of the mat here. You almost need a really firm surface to do it on. But the idea with this roll control is as I roll this, these stop the bag from slipping. So it makes for a neat roll. And then the premise of this is when you get to this point, you now pull this over the top here. This goes the other way around the back, and you can hook that on here, or when it comes from the factory, Coleman actually had this looped around here and then back onto the rope like that. So I guess you could just pack it like that if you liked. Now if I find the bag, this is oversized, so we'll try and put it back in. But you can see it's still firm, but it's doable. You could gradually squeeze that back in. So much better than what the bags used to be. You can see I can immediately, I'm not struggling. It's not ridiculously undersized as they, not just Coleman, but a lot of brands in the past have done with just making the storage bags way, way too small. So pretty boring watching. I'm not going to squeeze that all the way in, but you can see I can get that into the bag relatively easily there. However, what I would do, and what I always recommend, is don't worry about this feature. Don't worry about these features. Undo that. Undo this. Grab the bag. Start with the bulky end of the sleeping bag. Stuff it in the bottom here. Put this between your feet and kind of get the bag up under your arm and just stuff it in like this. Goes in nice and easily. So the big thing with these sleeping bags in the past is couldn't get it back in the bag, and it's driven many of people insane at a campsite trying to get this in the bag so that they can leave camp. This now packs up. This is so much quicker than the other way. Stuff it in, tighten this. If you want to make it smaller, you've now got these compression straps over the top that you can do up to squash it down. As you use this, it will get easier to squash down. The fabrics are much stiffer to start with. But anyway, you get the gist there. So much easier to squash that up or to just stuff it in the bag. So that is Coleman's Mudgee sleeping bags. 3 in the range, the C5, the C0, the C-3. Bag for every season. Nice, warm, homely feel. Affordable, available online at snowies.com.au.